welcome to HITC Sport. Right, so the Champions League is almost back, lads. Did you all get withdrawal symptoms? It's only been gone about 6 goddamn weeks. Anyway, let's take a look at every current Champions League team and see who the best player they sold or lost during the summer. Right, let's go. Bayern Munich, THIAGO ALCANTARA to Liverpool. Okay, this one is fairly straightforward. How many teams win the Champions League before losing arguably the most important player within about 30 seconds of the full-time whistle? Christ above, THIAGO ALCANTARA probably collected his medal, went home and started booking flights to Merseyside. Sure, they brought in LEROY SANE and the guy who used to fall over his feet at Stoke, but Christ above, losing this utter creative midfield genius before he's even at 30 years of age? Bayern fans will most likely be tearing chunks out of their own scalp. Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey to Arsenal. Yeah, for Atletico Madrid this wasn't ideal. Sure, replacing the awkward post box that was Alvaro Morata with Luis Suarez, arguably the greatest centre forward of his generation, and for just 5 million quid, virtual couch change that wouldn't even buy you Ollie Watkins' left elbow. Christ, they probably thought this was a dream window. And then they're forced to sell Thomas Partey to Arsenal for £40 million. A 27-year-old Ghanaian who Kieran Trippier has called one of the best midfielders he's ever played with. And this guy was in the same burning team as Stephen Reid. Partey's a good signing for Arsenal, but not a good look for Diego Simeone. Losing his best players to Europa League teams? You know, clubs preparing for midweek trips to Dundalk? Red Bull Salzburg, HEE-CHAN HWANG to RB Leipzig. Yeah, remember that annoying catchphrase about Red Bull gives you wings? Lads, they currently have 2 clubs in the Champions League, and this is a transfer involving both of them. 24-year-old forward HEE-CHAN HWANG has batted home 45 goals in 3 seasons for Salzburg, and now just moved to RB Leipzig to replace TIMO WERNER up front. Lads, how have Red Bull been allowed to sell a striker to themselves? Honestly, this can't be legal. Lokomotiva Moscow, ALEKSEY MIRANCHUK to Atalanta. Yeah, 24-year-old attacking midfielder ALEKSEY MIRANCHUK with 5 goals and 25 Russian caps has just been sold to Atalanta for €15 million. Good on him. Real Madrid, Gareth Bale to Tottenham. Where do you want to start? This summer alone, Real Madrid have just been impossibly quiet in the transfer window. Instead, just scattering their deadwood across the globe. Lads, imagine a club who views the likes of Achraf Hakimi, James Rodriguez, Sergio Reguilon and Gareth Bale as goddamn deadwood. Most football fans would gladly dunk their ball bag in a pint of cow piss and even get one of them through the door. Anyway, the best of that supremely talented bunch is probably still Gareth Bale, who's returned to Tottenham on loan. Shakhtar Donetsk, Wellington to the couch. Lads, remember when the FIFA games used to predict that Wellington would turn into another Brazilian beast? The next Ronaldinho apparently. We're currently living in the future now, and after 7 years at Shakhtar Donetsk, he's just been dumped back on the couch. Inter Milan, Mauro Icardi to PSG. Again, Inter Milan have been pretty busy this window, mostly dragging past old men through the door. Right above, the San Siro's been turned into a modern day luxury nursing home. Who's that Tonu Conte supposed to be, the goddamn nurse? Anyway, they haven't sold too many. I suppose the €50 million permanent transfer of Mauro Icardi to PSG was officially finalised. Sure, he's a top class goal scorer, but I'm guessing Inter fans will probably die happy if they never lay eyes on his head wrecking wife ever again. Borussia Mönchengladbach, Tobias Strobel to FC Augsburg. Lads, Borussia Mönchengladbach have one of the weirdest club names in football, so quite fitting they've spent their summer signing players like Joe Scally, Hannes Wolf and a human man whose first name is Valentino. Anyway, they've also gotten rid of Tobias Strobel, a 30-year-old midfielder kicked out after 4 years at FC Augsburg. Porto, Alex Telles to Man United. Lads, the fate of Alex Telles seems a bit underwhelming. For years he was built up as the next world-class left back, tipped with £60 million moves to Chelsea and Real Madrid. Now he's just wound up at a Man United team in crisis, and for just €50 million and given a job description of challenging Luke Shaw for a spot. Price above, lads, all that hype, and he's spending his peak years stuck on a bench behind Shaw, and a erratic left back who eats his feelings? Good Christ. Man City, LEROY SANE to Bayern Munich. Imagine being a club with so much power and resources that they managed to successfully force both Jadon Sancho and LEROY SANE out the door to Germany. 2 of the most deadliest footballers on the planet. Sane has just been sold to Bayern Munich and for just £40 million. £40 million, i.e. the price of Joelinton. 40 million wouldn't even have bought you the left leg of Nicolas Pepe. City, honestly, what have you done here? You've well and truly had your pants yanked around your ankles, which gives me flashbacks to Sunday school. Olympiacos, KONSTANTINOS TSIMIKAS to Liverpool. Time will tell if Konstantinos TSIMIKAS has made the right move. Having tied up a £30 million move to Liverpool, he'll be largely stuffed on the bench this season, silently wishing Andy Robertson gets struck down by a case of diarrhea. This promising 24-year-old Greek left-back could be playing European football for Olympiacos this season, afforded the privilege of being utterly destroyed by Riyad Mahrez time and time again. But no, instead he's just going to spend the season crying into his morning muesli and developing an irrational hatred of Scottish left-backs. Marseille, Bouna Sarr to Bayern Munich. Yeah, fairly simple here. Marseille right wing back Bouna Sarr, a 28-year-old who's rejected both Guinea and Senegal to instead play Monopoly and scratch his balls on the couch during international breaks. He's just swapped Marseille for Bayern Munich in a €10 million deal, and he's already provided 2 assists in his debut for Eric Choupo-Moting, a guy who should wake up every morning and kiss his agent in the face, because were it not for him, he'd probably be serving up undercooked breakfast rolls down the local petrol station. Liverpool, Ryan Brewster to Sheffield United. Well, Dejan Lovren probably feels like he belongs in this list, but let's be honest. Yes, you're technically a Premier League and European champion who played at a World Cup final, but I still would trust you to pour a bowl of Rice Krispies unattended. This man is so addicted to errors, he'd probably somehow drown his entire family in the goddamn thing. So instead, let's go for Ian Brewster. After all that hype as an underage world champion, scoring for Liverpool in pre-season, and he's just been sold to Sheffield United for £18 million. The kid's barely out of his teens. Ajax Hakim Ziyech to Chelsea. This has been a weird transfer window for Ajax. Not only have they dragged in former Everton misfits Davy Klaassen and Martin Stecklenburg back to the club, they've also dumped the likes of Sergino Dest, Danny Van de Beek and Hakim Ziyech, meaning the remaining stars from that Champions League semi-final run are just Dusan Tadic and Daley Blind, a guy who looks like he's pushing 40. Christ above, my nana will beat him in a race, and she's been dead since 1996. Christ above, this Ajax squad has been utterly ransacked. But yeah, 27-year-old Moroccan playmaker Ziyech has just been sold to Chelsea for €40 million. Lads, do they even need him? Atalanta, Timothy Castagne to Leicester. Well, Atalanta have only sold one footballer this season. Belgian left back Timothy Castagne to Leicester for £25 million. And the guy has started like a house on fire, becoming just the 5th Belgian to score his Premier League debut. But then again, that select list includes Luke Niels, Thomas Vermaelen, Christian Benteke and Leandro Trossard. So I guess judging on that form, Castagne is just going to have his Leicester stint crippled by injuries, only to wind up an error-prone mess with his last morsel of confidence trickling down his left leg. FC Midtjylland, Tim Sparv to AEL. Nothing to see here, just Tim Sparv, a 33-year-old defensive midfielder with nearly 80 caps for Finland, who's just been binned out to Larissa in Greece. Sevilla, Ever Banaga to Al-Shabaab. Lads, surely Ever Banaga is now past it, right? Christ, well, he's 32, but put some respect on his name. Over 60 caps for Argentina, he won 3 Europa Leagues with Sevilla, including last season where he played over 30 games from the field, and was even included in the UEFA Europa League squad of the season last year. Anyway, he's decided to now see out his career shoving bags of cash down his throat out in Saudi Arabia with Al-Shabaab FC and being coached by Pedro Cecina. You know, the guy who spectacularly failed at Rangers. So if that's the standard of coaching in Saudi Arabia, good Christ. Chelsea, Willian to Arsenal. I'd probably say Chelsea have upgraded here, but still, Willian's Chelsea career was an utter success. Considering he joined a floundering Chelsea who just finished 3rd in the league under Rafa Benitez, the fact he's now won 2 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup, League Cup and Europa League, massive success at Chelsea. Anyway, it's just been put out to Arsenal, with that club making an annual habit of offering jobs to washed up Brazilians chucked out of Stamford Bridge. So Arsenal fans, you might as well start preparing Thiago Silva shirts for next season. Krasnodar, Artem Galubev to Ufa. Oh lads, Remy Gabella has somehow managed to claw his way back into the Champions League. Just how? When he was at Newcastle, he had all the upper body strength of a soggy balloon. Anyway, Krasnodar haven't sold any of their best players this summer. I mean, they've let Artem Guliabev go, a 21-year-old benchwarmer midfielder who's just signed for Russian club Ufa, but who really cares? Rennes, Edouard Mendy to Chelsea. Yeah, they've done it again. Rennes have lost yet another potentially world-class goalkeeper to Chelsea. Petr Cech was wrestled from the grass after just 2 seasons back in 2004, and now Edouard Mendy is left for Stamford Bridge after just 1 campaign. Sure, they got £26 million for him, but still, Rennes fans are probably still secretly hoping that Stamford Bridge goes up in flames. Zenit St. Petersburg, Branislav Ivanovic to West Brom. Yeah, Branislav Ivanovic is the one to make room for Dejan Lovren in Russia. At the age of 36, he's returned to England on a free to warm the bench at West Brom. If I was Jeff Shreves, learning that this man is back in the country, I'd probably change my home address and relocate to the west coast of Kazakhstan. Borussia Dortmund, Mario Götze to PSV. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is a roaring success for Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have made a nasty habit of losing one of their best players every season. Not this time though. Now they've actually managed to hold on to Jadon Sancho, showing growth and resolve to turn down £90 million. Dortmund chiefs of the past would have been shoving Sancho on the first flight to Manchester. They have let go of a world champion though, bidding Mario Götze is just wound up with PSV. Considering he once walked out on them to Bayern Munich, dropping the bombshell 2 weeks before their Champions League final, Dortmund fans probably love the fact they've now been able to toss them away like an empty tin of dog food. Lazio, Valon, Borussia to Rennes. Again, imagine preparing for a Champions League campaign with the additions of Andres Pereira, Wesley Hunt and a nearly 40-year-old Pepe Reina. Just bizarre. But at least Lazio haven't sold anyone of note. Let's say Valon Borussia, a 27-year-old Kosovo midfielder sold to Rennes for £5 million. Hardly a big loss. Club Brugge, Erhan Masonic to VfL Bochum. Yeah, no major departures here either. 21-year-old Serbian underage centre-half Erhan Masovic, who was just signed for VfL Bochum in the 2nd tier of German football. Juventus, Miralem Pjanic to Barcelona. I mean, who else? Miralem Pjanic has been the heartbeat in Juventus' midfield since 2016, and he's just been sold to Barcelona for £60 million. They've also got a bunch of other big names off the wage bill. Blaise Matuidi, Gonzalo Higuain and Douglas Costa. I mean, how else are they supposed to afford Ronaldo's wages during a global pandemic? Barcelona, Arthur to Juventus. Lads, Arthur is another Thiago Alcantara, isn't he? A Barcelona sale will soon come to massively regret. Essentially trading a 24-year-old Brazilian midfield talent for a guy 6 years older than him. No wonder the club are in such a mess. Dynamo Kiev, JOSIP PIVARIC to NK Lokomotiva. Good old JOSIP PIVARIC, a 31-year-old Croatian left back with over 25 caps. He's just swapped Dynamo Kiev for NK Lokomotiva. Ferencvaros, David Lanzavame to Adana Demirspor. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea who or what David Lanzavame is. What I do know is that with a name like that, he was probably beaten up in school a lot. PSG, Edinson Cavani to Man United. Lads, Edinson Cavani is going to be frothing at the mouth to score against PSG this season, proving them wrong for chucking him out like an expired sandwich. Don't forget, this guy who scored 200 goals in 301 games for PSG, managing all that in just 7 seasons. To put it in context, had he achieved that at Old Trafford, he'd be in the club's top 5 goal scorers of all time. Man United, Chris Smalling to Roma. Man United fans will regret this. I know we've witnessed 10 years of Chris Smalling, and I know he was never Manchester United standard, but is he not still better than Victor Lindelof? At a time when Man United's defence is leakier than a broken fridge, shipping 6-0 to Spurs, why not keep Smalling instead of bidding him off to Roma for £18 million? RB Leipzig, Timo Werner to Chelsea. This is always going to happen, but Christ above, he'll almost be impossible to replace. Timo Werner scored 34 goals in 45 games for RB Leipzig last season, earning himself a big money move to Chelsea. How are Leipzig supposed to replace him? With who? Crystal Palace flops? Istanbul Başakşehir, Gökhan Inler to Adana Demirspor. Yeah, remember Gökhan Inler? One of the biggest names in Leicester title winning season, and yet he barely played. Christ above, the guy came with a big reputation and couldn't dislodge any drink water. Anyway, he just left Istanbul Başakşehir for Adana Demirspor, playing for the 3rd Turkish team of his career. Anyway, that's the end of it. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.